Hi everyone, it's great to have all of you here, and we're about to discuss on a topic which will be useful for all of you going beyond 2021. So the topic is 2021 plus. The simple idea behind this topic is we're going to discuss what type of mindset you need and how you can adapt your mindset to be positive going beyond 2021. We know that 2020 was a challenging year, and challenges always change us. And I believe this is a great platform and a wonderful year ahead and the years to come with plenty of opportunities for all of us. So, the guest is quite prominent, a special personality, I would say, a renowned entrepreneur, author, and coach. We say a very warm welcome to Farill Farook. Hi, Farill, it's great to have you.
Hi, Sasanka. Good to be
Wish you a very
here.
happy new year and
Yes, same
looking
to
forward
you.
to a fantastic 2021.
Exactly. We had a roller coaster
So
2020.
let's begin. I know, but it has given us an opportunity to look into the positive side
Sure.
of what we have in store,
That's true.
maybe in the next decade or so. So
True.
yeah, let's start with the conversation, Farid.
Sure.
So let's begin with a question. Let's talk about your book, Discover the Winner in You. I think the topic or the title itself speaks volumes of what a person needs and what type of handbook or a guide this book is. Let's start with that, Farrell. How did this idea came about? How did this idea come about?
Well, I always was interested to write a book, but managing the time was the biggest challenge. So then what I realized was I went on this path of collecting data, doing a lot of research, mainly studying a lot of successful personalities from various categories. It can be speakers, coaches, athletes, business leaders, and I was studying what is the pattern, what is the model they have adapted to reach a level of excellence. And these little nuggets, little collection of data that I compiled into a book and also used my own experience. And that's how the idea of publishing a book came to light.
So you discuss about four aspects, and then could you explain a bit more about it?
Correct. No,
The
that's
four
a very
aspects that a person needs, or maybe a personal brand.
correct. Thank you for asking because that's a very powerful tool which I will be sharing, which is four avenues how each person can design or develop themselves into mastery. Now, when you see what is the key to achieve excellence, it is ultimately when a person achieves mastery. So, I would say mastery can be achieved through your expertise, your skills, passion, or purpose. So, for example, say passion, I would say the best way of converting a person into mastery could be through these four avenues. The first is when you're nurtured into a brand, on when your passion is nurtured into a mastery, which is uh, the very young age. Today, when we see some of the athletes, cricketers, or even sometimes business people who have been nurtured from a young age, they are the people who have been, I would say, fortunate because from young age they have been nurtured by somebody in the family who had a bigger vision for them and nurtured them. So the first category is nurtured talent. The second is a discovered talent. They also have a different segment how they can discover their talent through following a role model or family heritage or a certain incident in their life, a dramatic incident that sparked the fire within, and they discovered that talent and they went ahead. The third is when you're launched into a brand, which is a very huge segment where you can get positive launch brand as well as kind of negative or fail launch brand. Because what I say is it takes 5 years to launch and establish yourself a brand. And anybody who builds a brand within 1 or 2 or 3 years is a launch brand. There can be positive launch as well as negative launch. So the third one is, when you're launched into a brand, and the fourth is when you're designed. Anybody over 25 years, and that can be considered the most toughest because you have already started a path in your career, in your skills, and in most cases, people who have designed their brand is who diverted their career passions or path, or kind of aligned with their current career path. So it's a broad topic, but let's see how we can break it into smaller chunks.
Yeah, that's right. So that's a fantastic explanation from Farill. So moving forward, let's align with the topic 2021 plus, having a positive mindset going beyond 2021.
Sure.
What type of mindset or how should we think as individuals? I think this is important for people who are from Generation Z as well as millennials, or maybe anyone. What type of mindset or how should we think of the new world order or adapting to the new normal? How should we go about?
A very valid current question based on the current scenario. Like you said, the answer is in your question. We are 2021 plus. We have to see everything in a positive way. So ideally, though what has happened in 2020, it can be a situation where the glass is half empty or the glass is half full. So how the best way I would say, like, you focus on the next year is, maybe the key word would be focus. Start having a focus, even a laser focus towards a purpose, something that you are committed towards. Moment you are not committed to anything, you lose purpose. That is the biggest problem I would say in the current situation, where people are not attached to something purposeful. So if you can find something purposeful and try to align your focus, and so that you can build yourself within, though whatever situation is happening in the external, in the macro level, micro level, you focus on what type of area you can work towards and create a purpose or create a master and try to build with it. But that can be a better investment than trying to invest in something that you have least control in. So I would say 2021 focus, go micro, find a micro niche, focus deep within, and invest in the right mastermind.
I have come across this concept called area of destiny for it. So, which talks about having skills and passion. Two highways, one has skills and one has passion. So, the point where these two highways intersect is where your career lies. That is your area of destiny. I think even in your book, you explain something similar to this. So, and we know plenty of people have lost their jobs. Some people are on the brink of losing their jobs.
Sure.
And in turn, these people are looking for new jobs. Or maybe thinking of entrepreneurship. How should they plan themselves to move forward in this turbulent situation?
Well, what I would say is, try your best to stick with the current job while investing on a part-time avenue. It can be a hobby, it can be a passion project, or it can be, like you said, a startup entrepreneurial venture. Try to find a link with what you are good at. If you have a specialized skill, if you are an expertise, or especially if you're a student, that is a bonus, because during these early years, it's no harm failing even in that venture. Whereas if you're already in a job, and if you're a professional, try to invest on a part-time basis where you can build the skill, build the muscle for the next few months, and study and
Mm.
see whether you can convert that skill into something profitable.
Mhm.
Push yourself to avenues that you have never thought possible. So the more you can push yourself and see if that area or that skill can bring out something better in you, you will see kind of light at the end of the tunnel. So the what happens is, I would say, the personality also have to change. You can't stick with the situation and blame the circumstance. The individual have to make a kind of a paradigm shift as well. Now, when you're facing a challenging situation, naturally anxiety comes. Naturally, the tension, the worry will come. But if you're willing to tell yourself before the game itself, okay, I know it will be a challenging time. I will do my best to keep persistent. Build willpower. As they say, persistence is a kind of faith. So when
Yeah.
you have that faith within you to
Yes.
program yourself early in the game itself, I'm going in a new avenue. I know it's a little bit challenging, but I will keep focused. So if you can do that for 3 months, 6 months, and build on it, I'm sure that muscle will gradually build up. So the biggest challenge people have right now is they are in this state of anxiety and blocking. It's a mental block which is happening.
Yeah.
So ideally, if they can uh, break that
Mm.
mental barrier, the limited belief, and push themselves. There will be hurdles along the way, but mentally, if they program themselves, it's a subconscious thing. They program themselves before the game itself that I'm going to persist. They will see light at the end of the tunnel, and it's a long-term journey. I would say play the game like a marathon. Now, the biggest problem, people are playing as a race. They are looking
Mm.
at the instant success, which is a high
Nothing
risk.
happens overnight.
Exactly, spot on there.
Yeah, because I saw a quote very recently on Instagram. It said, "Quick success, or let's start with slow success, builds character,
Mm,
whereas quick success builds ego," which is so true
very true.
in the current context, or given the new generation.
Mm,
It's so true. That's what I felt as soon as I saw it.
spot on.
So, since you talked about challenges and moving forward with a positive mindset, how important is being fearless for it?
That
Maybe
is,
taking risks.
fear can be your friend as well as fear can be your biggest enemy. So the more you make fear your friend, the shift will happen. Now the biggest challenge is people restrict themselves due to the external fear, whereas the internal fear is 10 times more powerful. So the best thing to know is, whenever you are pursuing a new avenue and you have an element of fear and also excitement at the same time,
Hmm.
that's a good thing, because that says that you are ready to
Hmm.
fight and go ahead. Now, for example, Mike Tyson, he's known as the most powerful, and most boxers fear this guy. He says when he's in the dressing room, and when he's about to go to the match, he feels a lot of tension, a lot of uh, anxiety. The adrenaline is pumping in his body. He says while walking closer to the ring, that
Yeah.
it pumps and the fear doubles. But when he comes very close to the ring, he swiftly converts that fear into energy, like by saying that I'm going to knock this guy out of the park. And he says that shift of energy can make or break. It can make, he creates a huge shift with him. So make fear your friend. Convert the fear into anxiety, into energy.
Fantastic example. I think it's quite fitting given the current context, the
Mm,
Mike Tyson's example. So, Farrell, you have one chapter in the book saying 7 P's secret code to reach world class.
sure.
Let's talk about this. This will be very important for any individual planning their future, especially in this context.
Correct. I
Let's
agree.
talk about the 7 P's. If you could explain them quite
Sure.
elaboratively, that would be beneficial for the audience.
Will do, will do. Basically, I would say the 7 P's, like you say, not only it is ideal for the current situation, but in general, this theory or formula can be
Mm.
applied to any generation or um, any day and age. So the 7 P's are amalgamating all seven to get the desired results. I would say like baking a cake. If you're baking a cake, you'll need 7 ingredients, for example. And sometimes the lack of one ingredient might not get the desired result. Or you might not do it in a sequential order. You might just put in all 7 ingredients, expecting the cake to come out from the oven. But it wouldn't happen if you don't have a sequential order. Similarly, the 7 P's are:
Mm.
first is your passion, second is a purpose,
Mm.
third is the plan, fourth is the process, fifth is the people, personality, and the final is presence. So what I say is you need all seven
Mm.
P's to develop a world class or a
Mm.
powerful brand that can sustain a sustainable brand as well. So initially, the most fortunate people are people who have discovered or identified, or like I said, who have been nurtured into a passion. Now, if you have found a passion, you could consider yourself fortunate, because now it's part two, which is how you can convert it into a brand. So ideally, a passion is useless
Mm.
without a purpose. Now, your purpose becomes a vision. Now, so for example, uh, we'll say you have discovered your passion. Now make it into a larger purpose. What you want to do with your passion. Then you work it into a structure, which is having a plan. I would say in in general, it takes 5 years to develop into a established brand, which you participate in this process. The fourth P, which is process, and the first 4 P's are most ideal during the first five. First, maybe we'll say first 3 years, where somebody keep persistent, and this is something that they want to build onto. Gradually, what differentiates an average
Mm.
brand and a world class or a top brand is the 3 P's at
Mm.
the end, which is finding the right mastermind, developing your personality.
Yeah.
Personality can be promotion as well,
Mm.
whereas sometimes we might have all the skills, all the knowledge. You can be the best coach helping others, but if you don't know how to market yourself, uh, that's a kind of a bottleneck. So personality is very, very critical in current day and age. Whereas digital learning, digital media is also today a part of uh, personality shift. So ideally, the
Absolutely.
the last 3 P's, which is personality, people, and presence, which is your getting the best out of yourself, is critical. So when you combine all seven, you will see the finished product that comes. So now what happens is, imagine your process like planting a tree. The first day you discover your passion and create, the moment you uh, identify your passion and you keep a vision. Okay, I want to become, um, achieve this goal by this time period. And when you, the first day you take action is day number one, which we call you planting the seed. No matter, it is useless knowing what you want to become and having it in the mind. It's ideally you have to plant your seed. So when you plant your seed and take daily action, or water or plant every day, that's how you see consistent growth. Now this is where the planning comes to play. So the first 3 years you having a very strong plan, a game plan towards building the long-term vision.
How important is consistency for you? Now, saying all these things, when someone wants to take action, so they have to do this really. They have to take this into their system, understand the purpose, and start doing. So when you start doing, you need consistency. How important is consistency for an individual?
You seal the can very well, because I have seen, some of the most talented, some of the most rewarding talents. They have all the skills, they have discovered their passion, they have a very powerful personality, but they lack one P, which is the planning, where they take time to sit down or even write a business plan. I might have all the skills as an entrepreneur, I might have all the knack as a marketeer, but if I don't have the time to sit down, write my business plan and work it out, understand the numbers, it is useless. And the importance of planning is discipline, which is consistency. So if you want to develop yourself, I would say the key difference between average and world class is an element of discipline, which comes through consistent action. Because what happens is, when I work the muscle, when I work in a gym, the same, if I work on myself for 300 times, I will see a certain change happening. Each time I go, there will be a gradual growth that will happen, which is the consistency. And the first day that I did, and day 100 and day 300 will be a complete difference. Because what happens is, when with each day you develop it as a habit, and consistency brings out a new version within you. It kind of your confidence skyrockets, and that brings out a truly new person within you. So consistency is key when it comes to discipline. If you can master consistency, you are one step of the game.
Let's talk about networking. Now, we are in an era where we could connect with anyone, anywhere in the world, right? Maybe 10 years ago, we had feature phones. We just could make a phone call, send a text message, that's it. But now you have the ability to seamlessly connect with anyone in the world. It's just a matter of sending a message or tap of a button. So how important is connectivity or networking, and how crucial is selecting the right people
Very
to enter
crucial.
into your network,
Very
so that
crucial.
in turn you will use them?
Correct. Because what I would say is,
Let's talk about it.
people will make a huge difference. Basically, your environment, as they say, you are the people you move with. Now, if you move with 5 negative people, without a doubt, you will be the 6th negative person. If you move around 6 wealthy
And
people.
I think Farill, just to interrupt you there. So you and me meeting
Correct.
is a great example of connectivity or networking via social media. That's how we met initially.
Exactly, I
Then we
remember.
met physically, and that's where the real impact happened.
Correct.
right? So I think likewise, anyone who is watching this will learn. We hope that all of you would learn from Farill, especially that networking online as well as offline is important, and you have to be mindful when choosing the right people joining your network, isn't it, Far?
Definitely
You
spot
can
on.
continue.
Correct, exactly. Now you added the one layer higher when it comes to networking. People think it's only offline. Today, networking is 80% online as well. Your brand is what people speak about you when you're not in the room. So, how they study you as a person is by studying your personality on the social media circles, on your LinkedIn, on what you post, and that is your personal brand indirectly. So if they would like to associate with you as a network with you, first thing they would see what type of personality, what type of brand, or what type of value you add to the marketplace. So initially you have to add value, do your best to serve, add value to the audience. It doesn't need to be grand content. If you can even add a little bit of content, if you are specialized in an area, just share content. Do not worry who likes your comments or who shares or posts your comment. Your objective is to share content, and gradually what happen is you will indirectly connect with the right community. And if you can invest, see where you can fit in the right mastermind. Sometimes you might have to invest even in the right community.
Mm,
So the if you
mm,
invest, your commitment is much higher as well. So there are offline communities. There are today a lot of clubs like BNI. You get Lions, Toastmasters, JCI, Rotary. Those are avenues where you can build your network. In another
mm,
destination, you can even create your own community, create your own digital space, and build
mhm.
your network. So keep in
Yeah.
mind, try to have a network that will add value to your circle, because networking is one of the most powerful, I would say, one of the most important skills for the 21st century. The more you feel comfortable networking, introducing yourself, uh, position yourself as a go-getter, positioning yourself as somebody who would like to associate with other people, the more you will find yourself attracting the right talent, right people, right community. And I would say people are what will help you grow 10 times higher. The right community, right mastermind is what will make you grow yourself very fast.
But don't you think some people are reluctant to connect with a stranger? This is quite a tendency nowadays. And how do you think that people can overcome this? Because sometimes if you don't connect, you might lose an opportunity, maybe a life-changing opportunity. How do you think that people can overcome this fear or reluctance of connecting with someone else?
Yeah, what I guess is now the 10 trends have changed. You have to move out of your comfort zone. Even if you're an introvert, you
Hmm.
find that you have a syndrome where you don't like to associate with people. You're limiting yourself. It is only you are losing the game. You're playing the victim mindset. So the more you can play the winner mindset, just throw yourself out there. You can be the change within you. Now, if you find it difficult to network with another person, tell yourself today as a challenge, I'm going to add 5 new friends. I'm going to be the forefront, that I'm going to be the first person who is going to add value to the other person. Share information, connect with them, saying the first greeting. So that you are creating a new trend within you. So if you do not enjoy networking, kind of you're very much limiting yourself. even it can be in your personal career, even in your professional career, it is useless. Because I know, for example, gone are the days where people work for 10, 20, 30, we'll say 20, 30, 40 years in one organization. Today, what happens is somebody might work in an organization for 25, 30 years, and they might hire a new recruit who might just come there within 1 year, become a superstar. And we wonder what is the special quality that this person had? Nothing special. This person had the natural PR, the natural gift of interacting, socializing, and adding value towards one another. So today I would say networking is one of the top three high income skills. So like it or not, invest on this skill.
I think you took this conversation to a very interesting area for it.
Mm.
I want to ask you